Hey, this is Jalen Rica. Conference championship games are done and the Super Bowl is set. So I'll get to that in a minute, but let me give y'all the updates for the conference championship games. Starting off with the Chiefs and Ravens. So the Kansas City Chiefs, this is their second road game. First AFC Conference Championship road game for them. Lamar Jackson tried to get the Ravens to their first Super Bowl since 2012. The Chiefs are trying to go to the Super Bowl for the fourth time in the last 5 years. And what came out? It came out to be Patrick Mahomes' show off. Taylor Swift, Jason Kelsey, and Travis Kelsey and Patrick Mahomes, they just show up in Baltimore. They dethroned the MVP, which he'll probably win in NFL honors. So I think it's going to make sense. No surprise. No surprise. But the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl 17-10 over the Ravens. They knocked the number one seed out. So if y'all heard, which I already know about this, and I know a lot of y'all are gonna know this. If y'all already know this Super Bowl logo theory, which you look at last year's Super Bowl logo, it was Eagles, Chiefs. Super Bowl 56 was Rams, Bengals with the colors. It's not going to be Ravens and 49ers. You could say that is done because it's not that. So, whatever. Oh, and also, as soon as that championship game was over, Taylor Swift just kissed Travis Kelsey. So, who knows if they're going to get married or not. That's the fun story of them all. But let me talk about Kansas City. So you give credit to Steve Spagnuolo, all right, and I think he's doing a good job. My only concern, and we will find out in 2 weeks, can they stop the run? Okay, I know they got some guys who can play really good against the deep pass. Defensively, on the rushing, it's going to be a X factor. Can they stop the run when they're in the Super Bowl? Again, I remember this. I remember in Super Bowl 55, where the Bucs handed off to Leonard Fournette. They've been running the ball a lot with him. Tom Brady throwing some good throws. Chiefs defense trying to stop Mike Evans, but it was not enough to get pressure on Tom Brady in that Super Bowl. But now the Chiefs are back. They're back in the Super Bowl for the fourth time in the last 5 years. Third time that's happened with the Bills and the Patriots. And they're trying to go back-to-back Super Bowls for the first time since the 2003-4 Patriots when they did the back-to-back. Congrats to them. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, I'm sorry. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, this was been a season that a lot of people were doubting the Ravens maybe not winning the division. Todd Monken coming into the offense, we all questioned, what is the offense going to be? Is it going to be the same run the football, RPOs? Is it going to be more deep shots? They did draft Zay Flowers, and I think this is one of the best draft picks for the Ravens. Zay Flowers has been really a tremendous young superstar. You bring Odell Beckham Jr. for, I think, a 1-year deal. So I think that was a good move for Baltimore to get a veteran wide receiver to help the young guys. But again, we don't know where Odell Beckham Jr. will go. But I think Zay Flowers is their number one receiver next year. Mark Andrews, he did return, but I do think they didn't target him much. All right? So we'll see what happens to Baltimore in 2024. Best of luck for them. All right, to the NFC Championship game. 49ers, what just happened in the first half? Down by 17 in the second half, and they rally, putting 27 unanswered points to beat the Detroit Lions 31-34. And the 49ers are going back to the Super Bowl for the first time since 2019. That's the last time they've been to a Super Bowl. And I want to say this from the first conference championship game to feature the number one overall pick versus the last pick of the draft. Brock Purdy, this is his second year. His second year in the NFL. And now he's going to get a chance to play in the Super Bowl for the first time in his career. Christian McCaffrey's going to play in his first Super Bowl appearance. I'm rooting for Christian McCaffrey because I'm a big fan of him. But if you look at the 49ers, in 2 weeks, we'll be talking about this. In 2 weeks, we'll still talk about who will win the match, who will. I will post my predictions in 2 weeks for who will win the Super Bowl. I will do a breakdown of each team's season with the Chiefs and the 49ers, as they are. Both are going to get it face-to-face in a rematch, and I'll get to that in a minute. But back to the conference championship game. Congrats to the Niners. Welcome back to the Super Bowl. Looking for their 6th Super Bowl. Try to tie with the Steelers and the Patriots. Best of luck for them. For the Detroit Lions, and I want to do this. You guys had a tremendous season. You gone from 0-16 from the past. You never gone to a championship game since 1957, where y'all won your first NFL championship game. And in the modern Super Bowl era, you never won a Super Bowl, which I'm not sure why they couldn't give y'all your first Lombardi when it would have been the NFL championship. But it didn't exist, so no Super Bowl appearance for the Lions. But if you go look at Detroit, what a season for Detroit. Dan Campbell's building something. Jared Goff is doing something. And I'm told from Ian Rappaport that the Lions and Jared Goff are in talks with an extension. So that's going to be interesting. Ben Johnson, we don't know what's going to happen to him, but I do. But some reports are saying that the Commanders are the big favorites to hire Ben Johnson. So who will replace Ben Johnson if he takes the Washington job? My only concern is the defense. Don't blame on Aaron Glenn. No, I'm not blaming on Aaron Glenn. Aiden Hutchinson played great. But I think you need to bring in players in the defensive backs. Okay? Pass rushing is good. I think you got to add a defensive lineman. Linebackers are good. I think they are good with linebackers, unless they can bring in a veteran linebacker who can do coverage on the passing game. The one thing they need is defensive backs, corners, safeties, because C.J. Gardner-Johnson is signed a one-year deal, but he will be a free agent. They need to fix their defense. Not much, only corners, safeties, and if they do in free agency, get like another weapon on offense or a defensive tackle, then this Detroit Lions team could go back to back as NFC North champions next year. So we're applauding to y'all. Congratulations. What a memorable season for y'all, for the Detroit Lions. So good luck at 2024, and we're wishing y'all the best of luck. All right. So we have our Super Bowl. It is the number 1 seed San Francisco 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. This is the rematch of 2019 Super Bowl in Miami, where Jimmy Garoppolo and this 49ers team take on Patrick Mahomes in his first ever Super Bowl appearance. So I will break down what happened in 2019 somewhere this week or next week of this Super Bowl from 2019 between these two teams. And then we're in the modern era. So, hey, it's Brock Purdy versus Patrick Mahomes, the second-year quarterback for the 49ers, taking on, I think, 2016 he was drafted. No, 17. I'm sorry. 17 he was drafted. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A 7th season. So if Mahomes wins the Super Bowl, are we going to name him the GOAT? I guess we'll find out. But this is the rematch of Super Bowl 54. And I have something for George Kittle. He did said in Super Bowl 54 on Mic'd Up, so check that out. That's really good on Super Bowl 54 Mic'd Up. He said that he'll come back with some vengeance. You'll never see the last of me. That one was a best moment. When I heard that, I was like, well, you're getting your vengeance, but this time is against the Chiefs, the team that a lot of people were saying, oh, man, this is a dominant team. Tom Brady Patrick Mahomes is the next Tom Brady. Andy Reid is the next Bill Belichick. Hey, don't worry. We're 2 weeks away till Super Bowl, and don't worry, we have a lot of stuff to do before Super Bowl weekend. So relax, forget next week, and we'll be back for Super Bowl weekend. Hit the like button and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Who is your Super Bowl champion? Early Super Bowl prediction, and then I will release my actual Super Bowl prediction in Super Bowl weekend. And that's all for y'all. Again, hit the like button, subscribe, and as always, see you next time.